Hello, hello, hello. I am gonna make sure that my sound is okay. I have my headphones in today because there might be a little bit of a background noise in our home, and I'm hoping to avoid that. Those of you guys that were around for the construction downstairs, the headphones seem to work. So just let me know in the comments if you guys can hear me okay. I see some of you guys are on lunch break, some of you are sneaking in during work. This is just a listening uh, live. I'm not going to be crafting today, so totally okay if you're listening during work, right? Hello, hello, hello. Thank you guys so much for popping on. Awesome. Sound is good. Thank you. First and foremost, if you're watching live or you're watching the replay near Thursday, January 9th, I kind of just mentioned this on my Instagram stories, but I just want you to know I know that things are pretty heavy right now in the world, and especially everything that's going on in Southern California with the fires. I thought about postponing this live, but I kind of thought about it and I'm remembered or reminded that when things are hard and heavy and not so great, I love to craft. I love to create. I kind of like to shut my brain off and immerse myself in what I'm working on. Um, and I found that helpful over the years. I also find it really helpful, the community that we have built, whether you take my online classes or you join me for Get Crackin' on Christmas, or if you're a frequent commenter on my posts, I feel we are all part of this community. And I find comfort in that and knowing we're kind of all together and hanging out. So I decided to still host this live today, but my hearts do go out to those in Southern California. The loss is incredible. The evacuations and not knowing how your homes are is just, I don't even have words. So I just wanted to recognize that before we got started today. Um, So get cracking on Christmas. I see Shari's in the comments. And she's actually the one I started Get Cracking with Christmas years ago. I don't even remember how many years. It's over 4 years now. You know how time just slips away. So maybe it's like 5 or 6 years. Who knows? But Shari and I were chatting after the holidays. It was around this time, and we were kind of beating ourselves up in the point of we didn't really send out many holiday cards that year. I was traveling and teaching in-person classes, 25 to 30 weekends a year. I don't, I was, it was just crazy. And she had stuff going on. She actually handmade cards for her dad's business for him to send out to his um clients. So we just were kind of bummed. We had bought a lot of new holiday stamps and dies, and we didn't get to use any of them, which brings a little bit of guilt, right, when we buy products and we don't get a chance to use them. um, and it also just kinds of bums you out because you get so inspired when you're buying those new items and you want to play. And then on the flip side, I send holiday cards out because I really love to connect with people that I might not get to talk to all the time. But at least once a year, because I'm not always the best at sending birthday cards, but at least once a year, they get a card in the mail from me and they know I'm thinking of them, and it's just a way to reconnect. So Shari and I decided that we would, just as friends, would challenge one another to just blog one holiday card a month for the whole year. And we did that, and it was awesome. And then I invite a bunch of people were kind of catching on, and so I had invited some people to post with us on that same day, and that was super fun. Um, and I've kind of rolled it back a little. I want this to be no stress and absolutely no guilt. Okay. I fully recognize that it is January and that many people create New Year's resolutions. It's a fresh start. We have high hopes for the year. Um, but I don't want Get Cracking on Christmas to be something that you ever need to apologize for if you don't participate. I don't want it to be this thing that you dread. I um I want it to be fun. And I find it fun. Okay. Shari says that she thinks it was 2018, so this might be year 8. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so that was still when I had my big girl job. So yeah, things were crazy. Libby said some of us were invited but never managed to actually post. Not naming names. But see, it was okay. It was okay if you were invited and you never posted. So get cracking on Christmas. I will tell you what I will be doing, and then I'll kind of share with you guys what you can do. So I am going to post on the third Thursday of every month, January through December. And on that day, I am going to post the card or cards. Sometimes I get going on a card layout and I make a few different ones. Um, and I'll have a whole blog post on my website on shirkus.com showing the card. And on that post is when I will announce when I will go live. I started these lives a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. Um, and the reason why I started doing the lives is a few years back, I asked people in my Creative Chick Studio Share Facebook group, did you send cards this year? And if you didn't, how come? I was just curious. And again, it was not meant to guilt people or make them feel bad. I was genuinely curious because many people were saying, I had hoped to, I wish I did, but I didn't. And I was curious maybe why they didn't send cards and how I might be able to help out. Because I have this like initiative, this like, I don't really announce it often, but I just want to help you guys create more. I want to help you use your products more that you're buying. I want to help you be inspired. I want to help you have fun with this amazing hobby that we're part of. So, in my Facebook group, people were sharing different reasons, but the one reason that stood out as the majority was they just ran out of time. And I was like, well, how can I give people more time? And if I could figure that out, I'd be a very, very rich creative chick, right? But I was thinking more about it, and I had done a few lives sharing a project or whatever, or posting YouTube videos, and people were taking time to be part of those lives. They were taking time to watch the videos that I was posting. They were taking time to read my blog posts, sharing projects that I've created. So I was like, well, if I create a card once a month and then I host a live sharing how I made that card, people are going to join me. And if they join me, they can take that time to start working on their own holiday cards. So I will post my project on the third Thursday of every month. If something happens, I'll post when I'll be posting or whatever, but I'm pretty consistent. It's the third Thursday of the month. And in that post, I'll announce when I'm going to go live. I tried to be consistent with that, and that just doesn't seem to work well for me in my schedule. Um, but I will post on that third Thursday of the month my project and when I'm going to go live. And I encourage you guys to either join me live or catch the replay, right? We are from all over the world. We have all different schedules, all different time zones, and there's never going to be a perfect time for everybody. But you could watch the replay and pretend to be live, right, with me. And during that live, I'm encouraging you guys to watch and listen and learn, but also start to work on your own holiday cards. Stamp out some images, color them, die cut some sentiments, cut and score some card bases, because we know we need card bases. Not really. You can send holiday postcards. I'm making a trend of that. Um, but that is my way of giving you guys time. I love it. Connie says, I came here so you could give me more time. I'm trying, Connie. I'm trying. So yeah. So does that mean you have to, when I'm live, work on the same thing I'm working on? No. Often, I'm going to be posting my card on the third Thursday of the month, and the live might be that very next day, Friday, or it might be that weekend, or it might be that very next Monday. I try to host it very close to my posting time. Um, so I don't expect you guys to have the exact supplies. And I don't want you to have this exact supplies. I want you guys to use what you have. Now, that doesn't mean, let's say you watch the January Get Crackin' on Christmas, and let's say I use distress watercolor pencils. I know that would shock all of you. But that doesn't mean that maybe in February you're going to play with your distress watercolor pencils, right? Because you watched it in January. Or maybe you are enabled to get a new stamp set that I shared and you can play with it the next month. It is not meant that you are to copy me. You can copy me, but I want you guys to shop your stash. I want you to use what you have. And I just want you to use our lives, whether you're watching live or watching on the replay, to create. All right. I think sometimes it's fun, even if you can't join the live, if you're crafting alone, maybe you don't have crafty friends near you, or it's hard to kind of get together with them and get your schedules aligned. I think it's great to just throw up a previous live and listen to it, and you still feel like you're part of the community, right? You can still comment on my videos. I will still reply, and you are still part of this awesome, awesome community. All right. So, Get Cracking on Christmas is no stress, no guilt. All right. I do not want to hear in March, oh, I haven't started making my holiday cards yet. I'm so sorry. Do not apologize. If it's August and you're like, I don't feel like making a holiday card, it is summertime. Don't apologize. This is just meant to encourage, gently encourage. Okay. So it also doesn't mean that you have to post a card on the third Thursday of the month. It just means I want you guys thinking about your holiday cards now. So come the fall, I know or I feel the fall is a really busy time, right? Whether you have kids or you're just living life, I feel like after, once September hits, it just gets so busy with other holidays, with activities, and with such. So I rather make a few cards throughout the year instead of making a bunch under stress when it's a busy time of year. Okay. The other thing I forgot to mention, and I'm kind of reading some of your comments. I love them. Thank you guys, those of you that joined me live today. And if you're catching the replay, thank you so much. I would encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you are notified when I go live and when I have new videos. But the other thing that I wanted to mention is what was I saying? I got distracted by all of your sweet comments. Making cards throughout the year. Oh, I know what I was going to say. The other reason why I really like this initiative is I personally don't like to make the same holiday card and make the stack of the same card. I know many people do that for the holidays, and I think that's awesome. But I personally don't enjoy that. But what I love is because I'm making a card or a few cards every month, I get to really enjoy the process more. I get to try new techniques, play with new supplies, because I don't feel that pressure that, oh my gosh, Christmas is 2 months away. Oh my gosh, Christmas is a month away. So that's the other reason why I really like to do a little bit of holiday cards throughout the year. Now, does it start to get a little weird? Obviously I'm in on Cape Cod, Massachusetts, in the United States. So does it start to get a little weird in the summer months when I'm making holiday cards? Sure. I've kind of always started making holiday cards in like that May timeframe, because I do work for several stamp companies, and that's when they start to come out with holiday products so that stores can get it in time for the holidays. So I'm kind of used to that. But I also find that the different seasons kind of inspire my holiday cards to be a little different. Right? So in the summer months, I mean, it's no surprise I'll make beachy holiday cards all year long. But in the summer months, I'm really inspired to make an ocean inspired holiday cards. Brienne said, but can you remind me to actually send the cards? My 2023 cards are still packed up next to my desk, waiting for shipping labels because mailing packages isn't my job or anything. For those of you guys that don't know, Brienne owns the ink stand, so she actually ships orders all the time. That's hilarious. Um, so yeah, so that's why I really enjoy doing this because it's like little snippets of creative time. The other thing I just wanted to quickly address, I've seen for the last several years people posting, oh, I sent out X amount of cards. Let's say I sent out 50 cards but I only got 15, or I sent out, 12 cards and I only got two back. I don't look at it as like if I send you a card, you have to send me a card. Um, I look at it as I enjoyed the process of creating. Well, let's actually really back up. I enjoyed the process of buying some new supplies or shopping my stash and rediscovering some supplies that I had forgotten about. And then I enjoy the process of actually creating, right? That's fun. That's why we do this. Then I enjoyed the process of thinking of which card is going to go to who, and writing it out and sending it along. I enjoy the process of knowing that they're going to get something in their mailbox from me that is not a bill and not junk mail, that is going to make them smile. So I don't see it as like I'm hoping to get as many cards back. And I would just encourage you to try to maybe look at it a different way as well. Um, so yeah, I wanted to address that. Um, Somebody had asked a really good question. I can't remember if it was when I set up the question box on my Instagram stories or if it was in my Facebook group, but they were asking me like, how am I preparing for this? And I thought this was a really good question because it also reminded me of things that I need to do better. Um, Addresses. Oh my gosh. My address situation of where I'm finding all these addresses to send cards to, it's real bad, you guys. I have like an old spreadsheet from many, many years ago that's not updated very well. I keep envelopes from people who sent me cards. I have some of them in my contacts on my phone. It's really bad. So I'm hoping to prepare by organizing my addresses better. I even got some cards back where I I know that these people still exist, but like they've moved and I forgot to update their address, so I know that's why I got their card back. Um, the other thing that I did a little bit differently this year is I spent a chunk of time and I just went through all the addresses and addressed envelopes. And I didn't worry about, oh, I'm addressing a pink envelope. This might not match the card that I give them. I didn't worry about that as much. I'm usually like, oh, this is a card that has a lot of pink on it. I need to give it a pink envelope. I didn't worry about that this year. I kind of just did all the addresses and put stamps on the envelopes first. And then another day, I wrote out all the cards and put them in the envelopes because I do like to take time and write a little message. So this year I was thinking I could start to address envelopes earlier and just have them tucked aside. That would save me a lot of time. And then the other way I'm preparing, which I know a lot of you guys are going to laugh, but getting some card bases ready, like already cut and scored, and then I always like to make sure I'm stamping the back of my card, like who handmade this card. I think that's really important so people don't think it's a purchased card or years down the road they'll remember who gave it to them. Because I do believe that majority of people will save a handmade card versus tossing it. So those are three things I'm going to do to prepare throughout the year to make my holiday season a little bit easier. So getting my addresses organized a little bit better, start to handwrite out the envelopes ahead of time, maybe even figure out how to print labels for envelopes. I'm really not a spreadsheet girl. So, and then getting some card bases ready, which I know you guys are all laughing. If you don't already know me, I'm really bad at putting my card fronts onto card bases. I kind of make the card, get it photographed, share it, and move on. But I'm hoping to be better at that. Um, so let me know in the if you're here live, there's quite a few of you here live with me today. Let me know in the chat if you have any questions that I've missed as I'm starting to wrap up because I promised you I wouldn't be on long today. And if you're catching the replay, you can ask questions down in the comment section. I would encourage you guys to make sure that you are subscribed to my email newsletter. There is a pinned comment in the chat with a link to subscribe to my email newsletter. It's also in the caption of the video. And the reason why I stress subscribing to my email newsletter is because social media is always changing. And as a very, very small business, which is what I am, it's really hard to make sure everybody is seeing what you're posting, whether it be here on YouTube or on Instagram or on Facebook, which are the places that I post the most. Um, Subscribing to my email newsletter at least gets into your inbox. I will tell you, engaging with those emails, actually opening them, and even if you just skim them to see if there's anything that interests you, it will help your email provider know that what I'm sending you isn't junk. Um, Email marketing has changed a lot over the years, and not only is there that junk folder, that spam folder that we're used to looking at, but sometimes your email provider won't even deliver the email to you. It won't even put it in spam. It'll cut it off mid travel. So opening those emails, and skimming them, I try my hardest to share really relevant, fun emails. I always share the inspiration that I'm sharing on my website and then any upcoming fun that I'm hosting. So I get cracking on Christmas Live or upcoming classes and events. So definitely check that out. There are certain times a year I send a few more emails than usual, but I try not to bother you too much. And I see Shari is putting in a hashtag. I don't know what's going on with hashtags, you guys. I don't know if we're supposed to use them. I don't know if they're easy to find people through a hashtag anymore. But I use them still. I'm putting get cracking on Christmas, all one word as a hashtag. But I would also encourage you guys when you are sharing your projects to tag me I love to see that you're working on your holiday cards. Remember, you do not need to post on the third Thursday of the month. You can post whenever you want. Whenever you want to post a holiday card, post it. Tag me. I love to see it. I often reshare them on my Instagram stories. And yeah, please, please, please do. That also helps us feel like we're part of a community, right? I do have a Facebook group. The Facebook group is open to share anything craft created from any company that is a legit company. So I share all the things that I'm creating, but I also encourage you guys to share what you're creating. So definitely feel free to join my Facebook group as well. I don't have a link to that in the description of the video, but I will put a link there right after I get off this live. Let's see. I'm going to see if I'm missing any questions. Thank you, Miss Brienne, as always, for putting links in the chat for me. Barbara says these are such good tips. Thank you, Jen. I'm happy to give them. Yay. Um, And Sherry says, "Ooh, you just justified why I need new products to my husband, but I want to uh I think she's saying she wants to use gift cards or give gift cards to people. Therefore, I need new stuff." I love it. Um, Yay. Stephanie says, "OMG, too funny. I'm literally making card bases and stamping on the back of them right now." I love that, Stephanie. Amy Vetter says you can set up a template on Avery labels with Christmas addresses. It will save them for you and you're able to edit if needed. Thank you, Amy. I will check that out. I actually use Avery labels a lot to print stuff for my Crop on the Cape event. So I will look into that. Let's see. Alexis says she doesn't have a lot of addresses anymore for people. I will say check out local communities, whether it be local shelters, local retirement homes. A lot of people will take donated cards, which I think is amazing. And so definitely check that out. Tracy says her addresses are a hot mess too. She has spreadsheets, old envelopes, and on her iPhone. So she's just like me. So crazy. All right. Yay. And Julie says that she sends cards just for the fun of making them and sending them. Let's see, Judy has a question. Because you'll be using supplies from your stash at least for several months, could you let us know in advance what you'll be using so we can craft along if we want? That's a great question, Judy. So I will be 100% transparent. Actually, I'm going to ask a question in the chat if you're here live. Get Cracking on Christmas is on a Thursday. How many days in advance do you think that I make my Get Cracking on Christmas card? If I'm posting it on Thursday, do you think I'm making it on Wednesday, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, a month in advance, a week in advance? Let me know in the chat. Um, Yeah, rehab centers is another great place to send cards. Um, and Carol Peterson just says all the words that scare me. She says you can use Microsoft Word with a mail merge and an Excel spreadsheet. Oh my gosh, all those words scare me, Carol. I am not a spreadsheet girl. I wish I was. I really wish I was. I love it. So we've got ideas coming in the day before, the morning of, the Sunday before, 1 to 2 days, Thursday morning. You guys all know me so well, or we're just all very similar. Um, oh, Judy, 2 weeks before. I wish I was that organized a week in advance. Oh, no, no, guys. I often am making my Get Crackin' on Christmas card like Monday before the Thursday. So a couple days in advance. I try to give myself enough time to get a good photo. But there are times I'm making it on Wednesday, the day before. So to answer Judy's question, unfortunately, this isn't something that I want to structure so much as to feeling the stress of giving you guys a supply list. Um, so what I would suggest to you is if you are inspired by a project that I've made, I do try really hard to not use anything that's discontinued. So I will just say that I'm not going to make it so that you fall in love with something and then you can't get it. Um, but what I will say is, let's say in during the January Get Cracking on Christmas, you love what I've made. You can then get get those items, get similar items, find similar items in your stash, and then work with them the next month, right? You can always come back to the replays of the lives. Um, I will also say I post my project on the third Thursday of the month, full blog post with a supply list, and I don't go live on that Thursday. It's at least the next day or a few days before. It's often, quite often, the next week that I end up going live. So you have some time to kind of pull some similar supplies. Okay. Any other questions? I am so thrilled. I feel like each year, more and more people have caught on to this Get Cracking on Christmas initiative, where it had just started with two friends that wanted to encourage one another to create a little bit more just for fun. Um, so I'm so excited at your excitement for it. I do just want to preface this is a no stress, no guilt initiative, okay? In January, we all get excited about the possibilities of the new year. So I will just say to you, if you don't make any holiday cards in January or February or March, do not get frustrated with yourself and abandon the thought completely. Jump in down the road, jump in March, jump in April. Do whatever works for you, right? You do you. Let's see. Oh, there's lots of good tips going on in the chat about addresses and such. I love that, love that. And Liz says one of my favorite things is to see what Jen has posted and then try to recreate it with what I have. It's a fun scavenger hunt. I love that, Liz. And I always love to see what you have done. There's several of you guys that will shop your stash and get some, get do similar things. Let's see. A few of you guys are mentioning that you're working on the prep for class tonight. I will just mention that. Oh, I missed that question, Jacqueline. I saw it and I forgot to reply. How do you store your cards that you made? I have a bin. I'm gonna like flip my camera a little bit. Let's see if I can. On the shelves behind me, oh, let's see if I can point. Nope, wrong way, Jen. The clear bin that's on the top, that one right there that I'm pointing to between the white bins, is where I store my cards that I've created. Um, and so it's a perfect bin where it fits, like, let's see, I have two pieces of cardstock here. It fits two A2 cards side by side in that bin. And so as I create them, I put them in a clear sleeve just so they don't get ruined, and then I put them in that bin. Um, awesome. Oh yeah, you can go back to the ones I did last year for sure. For sure, for sure. I love that card too, April. She says one of her favorite cards she ever did was recreating a snowflake card Jen made with glossy accents and chunky glitter. Work it, chunky, chunky. Okay, since a few of you guys were mentioning that you're prepping for class tonight, I am going to just wrap up the live here. I'll see if any other questions are happening, but While we're wrapping up the live, I am going to do a couple little plugs if you guys don't mind. Tonight, we are hosting a fundraiser class for the victims of Hurricane Helene. If you are just joining, please know at the beginning of this live, I already mentioned how my heart is very, very heavy for those in Southern California. But this is a fundraiser class we planned back in October. Shari Moss and Kelly Marie, one of the owners of Lawn Fawn, and I are teaching a class tonight, and all of the proceeds goes to an organization that's helping those in Western North Carolina. Even though Hurricane Helene seems like it was forever ago, there are still a lot of work to be done. A lot of work to be done. So you can still join us. You can still register. And remember, as with all of my online classes, you can take the classes whenever they work into your schedule. So if it doesn't work out that you can join us tonight, you can join us at any time. And honestly, when it comes to this fundraiser class, the class is only $15 and all of that $15 is donated. So honestly, if you never even take the class, it's just a fun way to donate and support those in need. I also have some upcoming online classes that are paid online classes. They're very inexpensive. They are $20 for Frosty Greetings and Pandastic. Um, I also have some really fun mixed media class plans for this year. So it's not always Lawn Fawn themed, but right now there's just a lot of really fun stuff to teach with for Lawn Fawn goodies. And I know Shari's in the chat right now. We have an East Coast Fawny class coming up, Fairy Friends, and we are so excited. That's when Shari and I get together and teach together. Um, so very fun things going on in this creative chick world that I am in, and I hope you guys will join me. I saw a question, what are the matching notebooks behind me? Those are 3-ring binders that I store my standalone dies in on magnetic boards. Um, so tonight's class is the fundraiser class, Eileen, and the Hurricane Helene fundraiser class. So that's what a bunch of people are still prepping for. Awesome. Teresa's already registered and prepped for Fairy Friends. That is awesome, Teresa. You are ahead of the game. And Carrie says she's excited for the mixed media classes and that I'm inspiring her with my art journal. I love that, Carrie. I am having so much fun with my little art journal here. If you guys didn't see, I'm posting 30 days of art journaling, and I am just having a blast with it. I'm having so much fun. No pressure, just playing. Awesome, awesome. Let's see. I don't think I missed any questions. Thank you for the love towards my classes. I really appreciate that. I'm getting my new studio more and more situated every day. I have a new camera above me. I have not used it yet. I saw Kathy Zielski popped in at the very beginning. I'm not sure she's still here, but she was like, "I'm here to see your new setup." And I actually don't even have the lights on because it's bright enough in here, and I'm not using my new camera. There's no new setup happening yet, Kathy, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Trying to get some deadlines off my plate first. But thank you for all of you that have joined me live. Thank you if you're catching the replay. I'm super excited for Get Crackin' on Christmas. And I'm excited to see those of you that plan to join me. I'm excited to see the holiday cards that you create throughout the year. And yeah, I think that's it. So remember, no stress, no guilt. Tag me when you're creating your holiday cards and sharing them. And I'm excited. Again, I literally just want to inspire you and encourage you to create and to use your stuff and to have fun and to be part of this awesome community that we have. I feel so thankful. So, thank you guys. Have an amazing, amazing afternoon. Again, my heart goes out to those in Southern California. I really hope that they're able to get a hold of those fires really soon. Um, and yeah, let's all try to think good thoughts for everybody dealing with that right now. But thank you guys. Have a great day, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.